Hello, what's up, guys? How you doing? Yeah. How you doing? How you been? Yeah. So, what's going on? Yeah, so I'm just saying, how you doing? Yeah, just chilling, hanging out. But other than that, hey, yeah. I mean, I believe Colin deserves his channel back. He didn't do anything wrong. You know, I mean, I've seen kids that made rant videos on their channel. I mean, maligning everybody. Colin does it like couple once or twice, and he gets his channel taken down. I mean, good. I mean, that's not fair. It's not. But hey, I mean, you can't really do that to people and expect people not to actually not like your platform. What's going to end up happening is that people are going to end up quitting YouTube because it's it's like really. I mean, the new people who make the rules, they make them too rigid. You know, too rigid. Come on, too rigid and stuff. And then you got people who do things like okay, how can I say this? They make rant videos, they make videos defaming people and stuff like that. But where's the rules then? Where's the rules governing? Where's the rules governing YouTube then? Huh? Where is it? I want to see these rules. I mean, he deserves his channel back. Come on, this is my appeal to him. For him, you know, give him his channel back. He deserves it. The guy, the guy didn't do anything wrong. He didn't set out to do anything wrong. You know, please, 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 give him his channel back. You know, don't take away his only right, his only way to express himself. You know, don't take away something positive. Replace it with a negative. Come on, don't do this to him. I mean, the guy wants to be a filmmaker. This is his shot. Don't take it from him. You know, let him do the work he was meant to do. You know, I've already had a talk with him about his content. you know. So please reinstate his channel, you know. Reinstate his channel and, just let him do the work that he was meant to do. And, you know, just give him a chance, give him a break. I've seen people do worse, you know. I've seen people do worse. So please, please. And don't listen to Sean and Alexa home video. Please, because they had a vendetta against Colin for the longest. So don't listen to them. When they did that, they got his channel. You know, them and J Dog. Well,
Hello, everybody.
hello,
What was
Jules.
that you were talking? What was I heard you talking about just now, Randy?
What was it? I
Yeah,
said he deserves his channel back. People make rant videos all the time on here. I've seen them.
yeah. I do
Mhm.
deserve my YouTube channel back. Like, of course, the only things I'm guilty of doing on YouTube are like getting copyright claims on my videos, but that's because YouTube is so strict with their copyright laws that it gets extremely difficult to upload content and not get given a
Hold on.
a copyright claim.
Are you all right, Jules? I've seen you had an accident. Are you okay?
Be right back, everybody.
Mhm. Are you okay? You had an accident. But to be honest, people make rant videos and they defame other people on this forum for a long time. They've been doing it for a while. So, he's not the only one at fault. Come on. Don't do this to him. Don't do this. Don't take away his shot, you know? Don't take away his means of expressing himself. Kate, hello? Don't take
Man,
Yeah, you know, people have been making rant videos for a while on this forum, you know, and people have been bullying people on this forum for a long time, but I haven't seen YouTube and enforce the rules yet about that. I've even reported it a couple of times, and nothing has been done.
yeah,
But then,
it's like, yeah, I know, right? It's like the YouTube doesn't do. It's like they don't even do anything about the horrible people on YouTube
oh, I'm
anymore.
fine. I'm fine, Kate. How are you?
It's like, it's like ever since that woman took over YouTube, things just got completely
Out of hand.
got out of hand. She, like, ever since she took over, more toxic people started coming on YouTube and causing trouble. I mean, like, I remember a time, Ronnie, when I didn't experience any hate at all on YouTube. Like,
Um,
that, like, I don't know what happened.
well, sometimes
Yeah, when I first started on YouTube, when I first started making content on YouTube, everybody back in 2015, I like for a long time, my channel had no hate at all. Like I didn't have to deal with any hate at all for a long time.
But
And
now
then
you do.
2020 came along, and that's where I met. That's where, and that's where, and that's where when Soviet came along, and after Soviet came along, more haters started coming along and trying to harass me and stuff. Yeah.
Strangled you there and then, it would have served you right. Inspector, my father and his brother have both been killed. I had to do something. Anyway, I found out what I want. Are you sure it was? Sir, part of his conversation, he had the seal to announce his tomb.
But don't worry about it, though, because
I'll tell you,
I
it's
see you're fine. I am fine. How are you?
controlling him. I'm inclined to think he is. But what you don't understand is he has been forced into a position where he
I
has got
am
to.
fine. How are you? What's going on, Colin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that YouTube has gotten really stringent on the rules.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah, I know.
like I tried my best the last few years to like not break any of YouTube's law like copyright laws, but it's like they keep getting stricter and stricter every day. And they keep making updates to their
Well,
community
yeah,
guidelines to the point where it just got out of hand. And of course,
they attack because they don't have any kind of success.
and also the problem with YouTube is if you try to
Yeah,
if you try to call their the phone number, the official phone number for their if you dial the official phone number for their right, if you try to call the YouTube community, the YouTube support customer support, no one will answer the call because there's really no one on either end because that
Colin,
phone number was disabled
Colin,
and
Colin,
was disabled a long time ago.
whoa, Colin. No, he's not ranting again. We're just having a conversation.
Yeah, I'm not ranting at all. I'm just telling about how because it's insane how strict YouTube has become. I mean, like,
Yeah, it is, man. I don't know.
I mean, like, I get copyright laws are there for a reason. Everyone knows that
I get
because
that.
if there wasn't like that, it was like if there wasn't,
Why is
every
there, hold on,
single movie, TV show
hold on.
would be free use. You know, everyone would be using clips from like movies and TV shows.
Yeah, hold
It
on.
would get out of hand.
Colin, why is your mom on YouTube, dude?
What?
Why is your mom on YouTube, dude?
That's not my mom.
Oh, I know. I know it's not. Trust me.
Nice try, imposters. But you don't know you're an imposter and you're not really my mom. My mom has no YouTube channel. My mom hardly even doesn't even use her Facebook at all anymore. Like she once in a while she goes on Facebook, but that's it. But pretty much she hasn't really used her YouTube in the last few years. And also she has no intention of having a YouTube channel. So nice try, imposters. This isn't the first time we've caught you uh, trying to impersonate my mom either. In fact, Randy, there were many times where I caught an imposter. Well, there was many times where I caught an imposter for impersonating my mom in the chat part of some of my YouTube live streams. Randy,
Yeah, I know.
what was
And
that? I think I just saw a comment from the imposter just now that popped up on the screen. Then went away.
no, that's not Shannon, and I'm not gonna say that it's not Shannon.
It's not Shan, people. Okay, get it to your heads. That's an imposter. My mom has pretty much has no intention on ever having a YouTube channel. And also, to be honest, my mom, like for a long time, my mom thought that I was addicted to YouTube and addicted to making content on YouTube. But of course, we all know that that's not true. I wasn't addicted to making content or at all. I mean, I had stuff I did in my spare time. I have stuff that I do in my spare time when I'm not on YouTube. In fact, right now I'm actually watching a Hammer horror film, a horror movie made by Hammer Films called The Mummy, which was a Hammer Films version of that classic Universal horror movie called The Mummy.
Which one are you watching? The one with Peter Lorre?
Yeah.
Or,
yeah. You remember the original movie with Dark Carl as Mum?
Or the one with Lon Chaney. Lon Chaney did play
oh yeah. Lon Chaney Jr. did play the Mummy once.
Yeah.
So, I also know he did play pretty much all of the classic Universal characters, like including Dracula.
Yeah, he's also famous for the Wolfman.
Yeah, but the one character that he never really got to play I heard that he really wanted to play was the Phantom of the Opera, because in honor of his father, Lon Chaney, who was the man of 1,000 faces.
Yes, and Lon Chaney Sr. did play the Phantom of the Opera, didn't he?
Yep, Lon Chaney. That's why Lon Chaney Jr.
He did
wanted to play a character.
Yeah, he did play the Phantom of the Opera.
In the old black and white, like sound film one.
Remember, we watched the movie.
I have, in fact, I have it. I have that one actually as part of a collection of horror, a black and white horror movie collection that's like in those like heavy duty movie collections that come in a really big, really like fat like movie case, like they're like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those. It was actually something that we originally got my grandma for Christmas one year a long time ago. But she never watched. She probably ever watched any of them, and she didn't. And one day she revealed to me that she didn't really want it, and she ended up giving it to me. I have that one somewhere. But if you don't know, Lon Chaney Jr.'s father was the very first actor to play the Phantom of the Opera in a movie adaptation of the Phantom of the Opera story. Yeah, and and I also know that the makeup that Lon Chaney created for his version of the character, I heard that it caused some nose bleeding. Yeah, it was revealed, right, that part of his makeup that he created was these metal prongs that he had in the nose holes, and they caused significant bleeding.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I also know that James Cagney actually played Lon Chaney in a melodrama movie biopic about him once.
Been too late.
I know, that was pretty cool. That was I mean, if you can find Lon Chaney movies around nowadays, You'd be lucky because they're classics.
I think it'll be safe.
You'd be really lucky. Seriously.
Man up the road will give us plenty of warning.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that movie collection I was telling you about a few days ago, right? That classic Universal horror movie collection I have. That's a Blu-ray collection that includes The Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
You want to see that one? Here we go. Yeah.
Wow.
That includes Universal Classic Essentials Classic. Yeah, it starts with Dracula, and then it goes to Frankenstein, the Mummy with the original Mummy movie starring Boris Karloff as the Mummy, the Invisible Man.
Hello, Bella.
One of the discs fell out. One of the Mummy one fell out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bella.
it was like the Invisible Man. Also,
Bella's
Bride of Frankenstein. The Bride of Frankenstein. The Wolf Man. The Phantom of the Opera, the one with the one that starred the same actor who played who played the Invisible Man, Claude Rains.
Bella says hello.
Also, the last movie of the collection, The Creature from the Black Lagoon. But The Creature from the Black Lagoon one includes a 3D feature, but I would only be able to watch that one in 3D, or if my Blu-ray player had a 3D function.
Yeah.
But they do make some Blu-ray players that have a 3D feature, but mine does not have that, sadly.
Bella says hello, Colin.
Oh, hey, hello, Bella. Look at the back of it, Ray.
Yep.
This also came with a book that gives this collection also comes with a book, right? A little book that full of facts about each movie. But it's in my other room. I'll get it for you and read something for you.
Yep. Bella, you still here? Well, I guess not. Well, glad to see you, Bella. Glad to see you.
That's odd. It was in there.
Glad to see you.
Where?
Welcome. I mean,
Found the book. This is the book that I was just telling you about, right? That it came with.
wow.
The House of Horror, the original House of Horror, Universal, and a Monster Legacy.
Yeah.
A Legacy of Horror. In a perfect world for fans of vintage monster movies, there would be a Mount Rushmore dedicated to the pioneers most responsible for the classic creatures of Hollywood's fabled past. This landmark would be carved atop one of the hills on the backlot of Universal Pictures, where all of these cinema artists made their mark. The sad thing, though, Randy, is that the studio, the soundstage that was used for the Phantom of the Opera, right, was sadly torn down a few years ago, right? And
that's just wicked, man. That's movie history, man.
And the thing is, it was haunted. No, it was
Oh
haunted by Lon Chaney's ghost.
God. You mean the ghost of the Phantom of the Opera? Come on.
No,
Yeah.
there have been many sightings of Lon Chaney's ghost wearing a cape and like wandering
Wandering the
the
studio
the
grounds.
set and the and also the different stage levels. Like yeah, there have been sightings. People, there was an actual real thing.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, but once it was torn down, all the sightings suddenly stopped.
Yeah, but
Yeah. Anyway, as I was reading, this landmark, yeah, practically from its inception 1 century ago, Universal Pictures and Monsters have proudly marched hand in claw through cinema history. The funny thing though is, Ray, the guy who founded Universal Pictures, he
yeah.
didn't want to do. He actually didn't want to do horror movies. It was his son who convinced him to do horror films. Because his son had a love for horror stories and like the supernatural.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Anyway, Universal's early ventures into horror and science fiction included the first ever werewolf movies, 1913's The Werewolf and 1914's The White Wolf. In 1916, the young company outdid itself with an elaborate 2 years in the making production of Jules Verne's sci-fi submarine adventure to 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Not yet one of Hollywood's major studios, as it entered the 1920s, Universal still specialized in modest westerns, comedies, serials, and other fare fit for small-town USA consumption. There were occasional super productions, most memorably 1923's The Hunchback of Notre Dame, the medieval melodrama that raised the curtain on the company's now legendary run of famous monsters. For this adaptation of Victor Hugo's novel, Hollywood's Man of a Thousand Faces, Lon Chaney applied his own makeup to play the title role of the misshapen bell ringer Quasimodo.
The Hunchback.
It was Universal's top grossing silent film, and in the wake of its success, the company had its first horror star in Chaney, and its first immortal character in Quasimodo, whose pitiable longing for a beautiful gypsy girl made him one of cinema's most sympathetic monsters.
Yeah, it did.
Of course, Disney ended up making their own adaptation.
Which made a joke out of it.
And also, there was an episode of uh, of that newer Scooby cartoon series from the early 2000s called "What's New Scooby Doo."
Yeah, but it had
That had where they go to Paris, France, and Shaggy and Scooby actually end up encountering a character who's pretty much Quasimodo. It was an episode where they go to Paris, France to investigate claims of a stone gargoyle coming to life, and Shaggy and Scooby are like looking for clues in the Tower of London. I mean, are like looking for clues in like Big Ben, and they end up bumping into Quasimodo.
Yeah, that is something.
Yeah, let's get back to this. Yep.
Then hey.
Chaney soon returned to Universal Studios for the Macabre, The Phantom of the Opera in 1925. playing the title role of a masked madman lurking in the catacombs at Paris Opera House. Fun fact for you, everybody. It turns out there are a lot of claims that support the fact that the Phantom of the Opera was mostly based on an actual real event, on real events. Like for example, the part in the story with the chandelier falling.
Mm-hmm.
That actually happened in the actual Paris Opera House. One of the a chandelier actually did fall from the ceiling. Yeah. In the silent era, Universal could not yet make their movies talk, but their movies could make audiences scream. Now World.
What?
My mom is mad at me. Anyway, sorry, my mom was sending me a message.
Okay.
There were occasional super production. Wait, wrong one. Now world famous as one of early Hollywood's most shocking moments is a scene in the Phantom's Lair where a young opera-singing beauty unmasked the beast. Another terrifying chain makeup job. European director Paul Lenny's The Cat and the Canary, 1927, and The Man Who Laughs, 1928, added to Universal's House of Horrors reputation before the studio began to prepare for the advent of sound recording and the talkies. Fun fact for you, everybody: The Man Who Laughs was actually used as the basis for the joke for the Batman villain, the Joker. The main character in the Phantom of the Opera, the main character in The Man Who Laughs, who has a permanent grin on his face, was used as the his look in the Man Who Laughs was used as the basis for the Joker's look in the Joker's very first appearance in the Batman comic book. I think the actor's name was Conrad Veidt. Yeah, the actor who played the Man Who Laughs in The Man Who Laughs was a European actor named Conrad Veidt. But after The Man Who Laughs, he went back to doing European productions and didn't do any more American films. In 1928, with the age of the talkies dawning, Universal president Carl Laemmle made his son Carl Jr. head of the studio as a birthday present. Laemmle Jr. had higher aspirations than his father, and there was an immediate increase in the number of prestige reductions, among them the stunning anti-war statement, "All Quiet on the Western Front," in 1930. Universal's first Best Picture Academy Award winner. Under Laemmle Jr.'s sponsorship, the studio's Monster Parade began in 1931, with one nightmare character after another rising from the pages of literature and ancient folklore. The production commenced with the sound of bat wings as novelist Bram Stoker's vampire Count Dracula came to the screen in the person of Hungarian actor Bela Lugosi. Do you know that Bela Lugosi spoke no word of English when he was doing the Dracula film?
No, it was dubbed over in English.
No. Actually, you're close. He actually learned his lines phonetically.
Oh.
Yeah, you're close. He chose to learn his lines phonetically, and that's how he learned how to speak English. because the reason why he was chosen was because he had an old world
Look,
vibe to him, and also he had played the character previously on stage in the uh, in the Broadway theater productions of Dracula.
yep.
Yeah. Directed by Master of the Macabre Todd Browning, this film version of a recent Broadway play reunited. It stars it stars Lugosi, Edward Van Sloan as Van Helsing, and Herbert Bunston as Dr. Seward. The tale of an undead nobleman preying on the occupants of an English sanitarium. It purposely reveals a film stage play, but
Nah, you wasn't ranting. It was just some kind of person who was impersonating her.
yeah, I was not ranting. But people, there was a imposter pretending to be my mom in the chat. That's all it was. Okay,
We're
so
not paying no attention to it.
pay no attention to that. Okay,
Yeah, because
there was just an imposter. I've dealt with multiple imposters trying to impersonate my mom in the chat parts of many of my YouTube live streams.
yeah, I dealt with it too. So
The tale of anyway, but nevertheless hit a vein of box office gold. Universal pulled out all the stops shockwaves with its next horror Frankenstein, in 1931, an adaptation of the 1818 novel by teenager Mary Shelley. Fun fact for everybody: when Mary Shelley first published her Frankenstein novel, she published it she unofficially published it under a male first and last name, because back in those days, women were not not seen as authors of anything yet. So it wasn't until like a little bit after that she officially published it under her actual name. Probably didn't know that, huh, Randy?
I mean, like, I didn't pay too much attention to it because when I was in school, when we read Frankenstein, it only had Anne Shelley by Anne Shelley on the book. That was it.
Mary Shelley.
No, Anne Shelley. I guess
Her name is Mary Shelley, though.
the printer must have made a mistake.
Yeah, her name was Mary Shelley, though, right? In fact, every fan of the Frankenstein story knows her name is Mary Shelley.
Yeah, I know.
Whoever published the version that you read obviously made a little spelling
little glitch
error with her first name.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you probably didn't know. Do you know why she wrote the novel? Why she wrote it though?
I don't know why she wrote it.
She wrote it as a fun as part of this little writing contest that she and Lord Byron were having one stormy night when it was raining really hard. Yeah, she and her boyfriend were on a holiday and were staying with Lord Byron at his estate, and they chose to have a little writing contest, and she ended up writing, and she wrote the Frankenstein. Actually, she wrote Frankenstein actually out of her fear of lightning. A lightning really freaked her out and alarmed her. Yeah, I know this because they even reference it in the beginning of the Bride of Frankenstein, Randy.
They also referenced it in the Munsters in the pilot episode.
Yeah, and the only difference is the major difference between the novel and the Universal horror film called Frankenstein is the mention is that in the story there's no mention of what actually brought the brought him to life. But in the film, it was electronic gizmos and electricity. Anyway, back to this.
But in the Munsters, it referenced it in the Munsters when they were
Yeah.
making Herman, and they were bringing him to life, and the lightning struck the table. The girl jumped back and said, "Father, it's alive."
Yeah, you probably know. But Rob Zombie's Munsters movie is on Netflix right now, Randy.
I know, I saw it, man. It's like a mockery of the original.
Yeah, Rob Zombie made his movie out of love of the Munsters TV series. He grew up being a huge fan of the Munsters and had been wanting to make a movie about the Munsters for years.
Yeah, but you look at Herman. Herman's all skinny. Skinny. He's not the muscular Herman that we both know.
Yeah, I actually have a Munsters movie on DVD that my grandma gave me years ago. It was the one where the Munsters go to London because Herman inherited something from his adopted parents.
He inherited a castle, didn't he?
Yeah, I have that one on DVD still. I used to watch it when I was a kid. It's somewhere in here. I haven't watched it in a long time though.
Yeah.
It it was here. It was here the other day. Yeah, that one. It was one I grew up with watching. Of course, occasionally when I flipping through TV channels and I end up they happen to be playing a episode of the Munsters, I always watch it. But anyway, I think the film was called The Munsters Go Home. I remember the girl who was staying with the Munsters, in the TV show. I think it was a niece or
yeah.
In the film she had a love interest who was a race car driver.
Yeah.
Yeah. You probably know this, Ray, but the person who created the race car that Herman ends up driving in that movie is the same guy who created the Batmobile for the '60s Batman TV series, starring Adam West and Burt Ward as Batman and Robin.
His name is George Barris.
Yep.
He also created the Munster Coupe.
Yep, I know that too.
And the Dragula that Grandpa drives, that little coffin car.
Yeah, yeah.
He created all of that for them. I mean,
yeah.
Even though, how can you make a car out of a coffin? I don't know.
Yeah, it's obviously you could make the outside look like a coffin, but obviously it was a sport. Obviously on the inside was a chassis from an actual car.
Yeah.
Where
I'm wondering how he pulled that off, though. Making
I
that.
don't know. Well, obviously he created he created the look of it using probably a I don't know how he how he did it, but he was clever though.
He pulled it off.
Yeah, it was clever. But oh, here it is. Found it.
He created.
Found the bit. Found the movie.
He
Give me
created.
some, man.
Yeah, he created it. That's the Monsters Go Home.
Yeah, my grandma gave me this a long time ago when I was a kid. Yeah,
I grew up watching the Monsters, man. I'm
yeah.
gonna tell you that
But
and
funny,
Carson.
they were back in the '60s. There were two horror themed sitcoms on TV: the Munsters and Addams Family. I remember there was a failed attempt at a sort of reboot of the Munsters a few years a year like at least 2 years ago, right? That
The Monsters Today starring John Shuck as Herman.
no, actually it was a different show. It was one that starred Jay O'Connell and as a Herman like character, but it wasn't really the Munsters. It had the same premise and the same kind of characters, and even had a grandpa who was a vampire, and it had a wife who was a witch, and a Jerry O'Connell played a very Herman like character, but he, unlike Herman though, he looked like a regular man.
Uh,
But if you looked at his neck though, you see like a stitches mark on the on this part of his neck.
oh, dude.
Yeah, it only lasted like I think 2 episodes, and then it was cut. Then it was completely ended because and they completely canceled it because it didn't really get that many.
The ratings wasn't good enough.
Yeah, and guess who played the grandpa in it?
Who?
It was the guy who played Lil Enos Burdett in that movie Smokey and the Bandit.
Paul Williams?
Yep.
Get out of here.
Yeah, it had him. They got him that played a character. I'm not
Wasn't he
kidding.
also the one that? Wasn't he also the one that did the score for Superman?
What's Superman?
The first one.
No, that was John Williams, the composer.
Oh, that was John Williams. Oh, okay.
John Williams who went on to do the Star Wars theme song and also the Indiana Jones theme, and also he also did the theme song for Home Alone.
And E.T.
Yeah, John Williams did the theme song for Home Alone, and Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
Yeah.
What's funny though is when like Steven Spielberg was actually the one who suggested that to director John Hughes that he should get John Williams to do the films the music for Home Alone, but of course John Hughes was very hesitant because John Hughes was this like brilliant composer, and John Hughes thought that John Williams was going to ask for like a huge sum of money, but so guess what he did?
What?
John Hughes sent John Williams a rough cut of the film of Home Alone, and John Williams watched it, and guess what?
He did the
John
score.
Williams called John Hughes and said, I'll do the score for the film just because I really liked the film. Yeah, John Williams did the score because he really liked the film.
Dude. But what's
Isn't
not?
that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, and because he really enjoyed the film when he watched the rough
I
cut
want.
that was sent to him. You really, yeah, and I think he did a great film score for it. Like it really went well with the film.
Yeah, he did well doing that. I mean, like,
What's crazy though is you probably know this, but when John Williams did his first film score, he wasn't really that much of a film composer. He was just this musician who was just who uh, who was starting to become a big musician. And but then when he was asked to do Superman, but Superman ended up being his first film score. I didn't know that, did you, Randy?
but then as time went on, he did other movies like Star Wars and
Indiana Jones and of course he ended up becoming a big, very popular film composer and one of the greatest film composers of all time, in my opinion.
I think if he'd have did the theme for Star Trek, it would have did a lot better.
Yeah, you mean are you talking about like the modern Star Trek movie with Chris Pine?
Yeah, I think the
Yeah,
modern movie with Chris
yeah, I
Pine.
think I bet he probably would have
I would have
taken the '60s like Star Trek TV series theme song
and
and
used
probably
that.
would have updated it and made it, like did in a way that honored the '60s TV series, but still would have been right for today's for today's audiences.
Yeah, but
Because but guess what? You probably know this, but the Star Wars, the last Star Wars movie was actually his last. John was the last Star Wars movie that John Williams did the music for.
oh man,
He chose to walk away from the franchise after the last movie because because you can't blame him. He's been doing the things for him for like years. I mean, he did since the '70s. Like I think the first Star Wars movie came out in like '79, maybe. I think.
yeah, I think so. But I think it was 78 or 77
No, wait, I was wrong. '78.
because think about it. 1978. Not only did that movie come out,
The
but then they had
Superman came out, but then Superman ended up coming out too.
yeah, Superman. But
So which makes Star Wars the second film that John Williams did the music for.
yeah,
Yeah, and of course
Raiders
he's
of the
still
Lost.
known to this day as one of the great film composers of you know
I know Raiders of the Lost Ark.
The first Indiana Jones film.
Yeah,
Except you probably didn't know this, Brain, but there are there turns out Raiders of the Lost Ark used main things from uh a from an older adventure film called that was actually called that had very similar stuff in it and even had a character who was very Indiana Jones like. I forget the name of the film, but it was about an ancient artifact that was from the Incan Empire. But the main character film looked a lot like Harrison Ford and even dressed like Indiana Jones. But the big difference between him and Indiana Jones was that he was a sex worker. Yeah. I forget the name of the movie. Yeah, but but not many people remember this film though.
I mean, God, there's so many films that certain directors could, certain musical composers could have been famous for.
Yeah, I forget the name of the movie, but it was this movie that was it was this old like I think movie from the 50s or the 60s, and it was this adventure film, but the main character looked a lot like looked just like Indiana Jones, and uh, but he was a sex worker. Yeah, I'm not making this up.
Nope, he was a male prostitute. Do you think they would learn something by now? You know? But hey, I guess that's how it goes, huh?
Yeah, Ray, I'll find you a picture of the main character from The Secret of the Incas, and so
Yeah.
you can see it. But you will be so very surprised at how much he looks like Indiana Jones.
But then every adventure movie character has dressed like that. Remember the travels of Alan Quartermain?
Yeah,
He dressed like Indiana Jones, whipping everything. I
yeah, but
picture,
the thing is, so Alan Quartermain was actually the main inspiration for Raiders of the Lost Ark, though. In fact, yeah, George Lucas revealed that he grew up reading the he grew up watching the they end up reading the Alan Quartermain novels, and also the and he and watching like those old uh like mummy films and like adventure films, and those were what gave him the idea for Raiders of the Lost Ark. And yeah, let me go. Yeah. Okay, here it goes. A picture. Yeah. Okay. Here's a picture of. There's a picture of. Then you it. There you go. There, I sent you a picture, Ray.
damn, he does like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, and you can see, yeah, and he was, yeah, but he was sex, he was a sex worker though.
Yeah, he was sort of a high horse.
Yeah, he was a male prostitute, but yeah, but it ended up being a huge inspiration for Indiana Jones. In fact, if you watch it, he if you watch like Secret of the Incas, Ray, you would notice a lot, and I mean a lot of similarities between it and Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like, yeah, I mean that character looks just like. I mean, it also doesn't help the fact that the actor resembles Harrison Ford too. And what's funny is there was an actual Alan Quartermain movie made um, a few years after Raiders of the Lost Ark, but it was sadly seen as an Indiana Jones ripoff. Yeah, what do you think about that, Ray? It was made in 1986.
It's crazy.
Alan Quartermain made The Lost City of Gold, but it wasn't just that one. There was also one made in, I think, the 90s or early 2000s too. But the one that was in the early 2000s or 90s was the one that was seen as a Indiana Jones ripoff.
Yeah, it was a ripoff. But
Here it
I
is. Found it. It was called Alan Quartermain in the Temple of Skulls.
yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I am not gonna. I don't know. It's just too much. Too much to really
Yeah,
stick.
like the one that came out in 2008, Randy, when it was first released, there were so many people who thought it was a Indiana Jones bootleg.
Yeah, because you have to think of it like this. They're dressed alike and all that.
Yeah, and but then yeah, so many people forgot about that there was a fictional archaeologist named Alan Quartermain who was, and that he was the inspiration for the Indiana Jones character. But yeah, so many people forgot. Yeah, so many people forgot that Indiana Jones was actually based on Alan Quatermain.
Yeah, it's crazy. But
But there's
then,
also,
hey,
but apparently, there's also some evidence that supports the fact that Indiana Jones was possibly also based on a few real life archaeologists, including one who actually came close to who actually came face to face with the Nazis. I'll send you I'll send you a yeah, I'm not kidding. I'll find you a picture. Who I mean, there was even a documentary about it on this for the Smithsonian um channel. But I used to, yeah, it was also one that this documentary was actually on Netflix for a long time. Yeah, the kid.
I mean, it's like I don't know what to say. Hello? Well, I guess it's over. Hello? Okay.